So, hi everyone. My name is Alexis Nicolas. You have my Twitter ID here. Let me briefly introduce myself. I used to be a developer, something like 10 years ago now. I'm a terrible developer now for sure, so I don't touch any computer anymore, but I really enjoy human system since few years, and I really focus now on human system and human dynamics. So you have, yes, my Twitter ID and also my blog URL, even if, as you can hear, I'm French. So it's mostly written in French, but I try to write more and more in English too. So today I want to talk about management hacking. And for that, I will follow a really simple agenda. First part will be, what do I mean by management? Second part will be, what do I mean by hacking? And third part will be, how Kanban, I think, is a good move to hack management, and how to hack management beyond Kanban. So let's start with management. I won't go into details on it, but on this timeline, I try to pick up some main management thinker along the 20th century. And overall, what I want to highlight is that their management definition is really different. You have the hierarchies, the difference between workers and managers on the left, and then you have inspiration, motivation, you have the human side of the enterprise with Douglas McGregor. So really different way of defining management. And my journey along management definition started with a short story. I had my first IT manager role 7 years ago. And my own manager was telling me that I was a weird manager. A weird manager, I didn't really understand why, because my clients were happy. We were delivering them high quality software, great services, great support. They were saying that. My team was happy. They were having opportunity to develop themselves, to grow their leadership, and to connect each other. And my own manager was very happy because everything went fine, and he told me one day that I never bring any problems to him, always I bring a solution or something. So why the hell is he calling me a weird manager? Is there something wrong about management? This is how everything started for me. What do we mean by management? Why should I do as a manager? And so, after some thinking, I've discovered, or I have understood that mainly my manager was defining management as Henri Fayol on the left was defining management, i.e. command and control. And I was not commanding. Because studying human system, I've seen that to enable this human system to reach the goals, maybe it's better to not command, but maybe it's more efficient to inspire people, which is, Peter Drucker said that management is not to command people, but to inspire people. So, who is right? My manager, me, myself, Henri Fayol, Peter Drucker, who? I think both of them. But we need to define what do we mean by management. And by management, I think that there is a management system inside any organization. It reminds me a quote from Peter Drucker who said that there is no management without organization. There is no organization without management. It says everything. It means that in every kind of organization, even I was 1 week in holiday in south of Spain. Even in this kind of organization, family organization, you have a management system, mainly implicit, but you have a management system. And so, a bit like a computer, you have an operating system on a computer, and you can't have an operating system without computer, you can't have a computer without an operating system. And I propose that management is the operating system of human system. What I call operating system for I call it social technology. So my definition of management is it's a social technology enabling an organization to reach its goals. So finally, hierarchies, command and control is a way to manage and to guarantee that an organization will reach its goal, but it's not the only way. We can do differently. So if management is a social technology, then we could see management as with different release. I don't know if there is some developer in the room or project manager, IT guys. Just raise your hand in the IT area. Okay. So we could see management as with some release. I don't know if you saw stuff like management 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, or even more, I don't know. But we could look at management with just like software, with different releases. And we could think as command and control as being management 1.0. We will come back later on this. Let's go on the second part, hacker culture. So by management hacking, when I use the term hacking, I really refer to the hacker culture. The best definition I found, and short one, is from Eric Raymond. Hackers build things, crackers break them. Hackers build personal computer, they build great software, they build first video game, they build hardware, they build the internet, and so on and so forth. And in this book, we can see also that the pirate organization, well, the thesis of this book is that the pirate organization is at the edge of capitalism, meaning that on uncharted territories, sorry, to be clear. So it means that pirate organization really enable a way of working which is different than traditional organization. And by using this word hacking, I mean trying to look at how pirate organizations work themselves, what is their management system, and how could we get inspiration from it. Especially because in management 1.0, I've seen 4 bugs. And I won't detail each of them because of the time, but I've seen 4 bugs. There is one infinite loop bugs in the control and reporting module. I don't know if it reminds you something, I don't know. There is a critical bug, a failure bug in the economic framework module. You should read the book from Don Reinertsen to better understand that economies of scales or other stuff are not not the best economic decision you can make. There is a configuration issue with the human resource module. People are not resources. And finally, there is an issue with the motivation module. Today we use mainly extrinsic motivation, salaries, bonus, stick and carrots, and so on. And we should probably use more intrinsic motivation. So, yeah, management 1.0 is buggy. We have this hacker culture where we have some people already try to improve and work and improve stuff, improve system. Why can't we apply this culture, this way of seeing things to management, which is social technology to enable an organization to reach its goal? Last year I've done a talk to present the way Kanban hack my own management style. And I will go through really, really fast today because you can find it on the web. So if you want to know more, have a look at the video. So the first hack was it enabled me to see the work and to think as flow instead of optimization. So because of the visualization stuff and the work, the process, I'm sure you've seen so many examples of whiteboard and so on. So it enabled me to come from, I must make sure everyone is busy, to let's optimize the flow. Second hack is about learning. How do we learn all together? Or managers should focus on learning. And because of a better risk management in Kanban, because you see the problem, you have the problem, you visualize it every day, every morning meeting, you can shift from a manager position, which could be don't bring me problems, bring me only solutions, to I can live with problems for 1 or 2 days because I have better risk management. So maybe a more interesting question is, what did I learn today that I didn't know yesterday? So it helped to focus our energy as manager from finding solutions as soon as problems arrive to what do we learn collectively as a team. The third hack is the way I saw change. I was seeing change as preparing a detailed planning to get from A to B and make sure that we will reach B in a detailed planning way. But thanks to Kanban, I realized that change doesn't happen like this. You can't plan change. You can make change happen, or you can surf on the change going in. And why Kanban enabled me to see this thing is thanks to the swarming effect. Maybe some of you heard the swarming effect about the swarming. No? So after the morning meeting, when the team see a problem, just after the morning meeting, few people can gather all together to try to solve the problem, not during the morning meeting, but just after. This is a kind of emerging behavior that make me understood that change is viral and happen between people. Last but not least, it helped me to understand that managers shouldn't focus on centralize and keeping and defining all policies, but instead, thanks, for example, to the explicit policy practice, instead trying to focus on how to develop leadership in the team. So that's how Kanban hack my own management habits. But I've seen other organizations hacking their management without using Kanban. So I've seen that these 4 hacks was not enough or not concrete. So look at these 4 hacks. So flow thinking, learning, change is viral, and aim self-organization. You will find it back in this model. Flow thinking, learning, viral is change, and aim self-organization. And by looking at really, really different organizations, some pirate organizations like WikiLeaks, like Anonymous, Wikipedia, and also some open source communities like Debian or Linux communities. Or other company, French one especially, where in France we are not really, really focused on processes, maybe more Latin spirit or culture, and maybe more on human. We don't like to follow rules, for example, in France. So I've seen some French company who really changed their way and really hacked their management system, but nothing really similar than using Kanban. And so I've come to realize that I've detected a pattern, something which could be seen in this really different organization. So let me go through. You find these 4, the four previously seen with the Kanban. But now they are in context. You can see a shape, you can see a move between these four hacks, and you can see four more of them. I think, how could we use this model? I think we could use this model by asking ourselves in any kind of organization, in any kind of enterprise or so on, to ask ourselves to find one lever or two lever or three lever, I don't know, to try to improve this organization. For example, first one, purpose-driven. I think that tomorrow business should look like communities, and any communities can exist thanks to a purpose. And so you can use this model by asking yourself, what is the purpose of my organization? Do I have one? Yes or no? How could I move forward to build one, or to create one, or to find one collectively? That's the way I think this model can use, using one particular lever, and ask yourself, how could I go forward? So now let's focus on the shape and each lever. You see maybe a kind of wheel here. It was inspired to me by the PDSA circle, Plan, Do, Study, Act, from Deming and Stewart. And you find something similar. So purpose-driven is really to define and find a purpose to the organization. Bureaucracy is the power to action. So the question behind you can ask yourself is, what prevents people to take action, to do their job first? Because in so many organizations, you can have some issue prevent people to do their work, their daily work. So what prevents people to do their daily work? And what prevents people to take action to improve the work, the processes, the policies, and so on? This came from Debian community, where they defined this duocracy, where everyone can act, commit the change, and then the test and the community will organize itself to judge and agree or reject the change or the action. Then you can learn from your action. This is what I said, you can focus your energy on learning instead of finding solution to each problem. And then you can try to find the right balance between demand and capacity. Okay? And then go on and go on. So each step is really, you can take one, ask question, find your answer, and it will move your organization toward this pattern. Inside the wheel, because when I first saw the PDSA, I was telling me, but how the hell this wheel is going and moving forward? I don't understand. So here is the idea that each individual in the organization, because change is viral, each individual in the organization needs to involve in the change of the organization. And I was asking myself, why as individual I would want to engage and being involved in this change of the organization. And thanks to these different examples, community or different organizations I've studied, I've seen that I think that most of individuals, maybe all individuals, want more freedom. And maybe all individuals want more justice, fairness. I don't know if you share but you can react to Twitter and so on, because I don't have time to share it, but we can react on Twitter. So I think this is an assumption, and I really love to get feedback from that. I think that most individuals or all individuals want more freedom and want more fairness. But all of you know that freedom needs boundaries. You can't have, I can't have freedom to take your glass and, oh, no. All freedom needs boundaries, and I propose respect as boundaries for freedom. Respect yourself first, respect others, respect environment, respect the laws even. Okay, so getting more freedom by respecting everything you can respect, and first of all, people. You can find back the one pillar of lean inside this idea, respecting for people. And I think all individuals want more fairness, more justice, but how do I get more justice? Justice, just to define it, to be clear, by justice I mean one won't get everything. One guy won't get everything. That's the way I define justice. It's quite concrete or small, but that's a small step. And how could I make sure that one won't get everything? I think transparency is a great help. For example, in Kanban, when we open up the policy and make policy explicit, it breaks the old way that manager was keeping all policy in charge and under his own power. Then you make it explicit, transparent, and then you start to share it across the team. So transparency is a great tool to improve and increase fairness. So I think these two stuff, which are not, this one is a wheel, is kind of vehicle where you can move or where you can push your organization forward. This one are more the fuel, the energy, individual energy, so to have each individual to get involved in the move and the transformation. And those two the last one, are a path. Where do I start? And what should I aim for? Where do I start? I think as change is viral, I think we should start really, really small. Really concrete action, small steps. Keeping in mind the butterfly effect. Don't assume that because your action or your change is really small, that the effect will be small. No. Especially if you already have enabled some of the other stuff, one small change can really impact the whole system really quickly, just like the butterfly effect. So where should I start? Start small. Try to start small, and your action will move your organization forward. Don't assume that words and discourse will make your organization move forward. It's action which change stuff. It's change the organization and the shape of the organization. And what should I aim for the shape of the organization? I think self-organization is the right thing to aim. Why? Because I think it's both efficient and effective. Efficient because if the organization reaches its goal by self-organizing, I mean, it's the best way. It avoids all the cost structure. It avoids the term coined by Gary Hamel, which is tax management. I don't know if you read his book. So it avoids this structure cost. So it's an efficient way, self-organization is an efficient way to reach the goals. And effective because I had some chat with people, with the psychology people inside the psychology area and domain, and they've come to link autonomy with happiness, or the ability to reach happiness with the autonomy individuals have in the system. And I think that self-organization is the state where you maximize the autonomy of each individual inside the organizations. So it maximizes also the possibility to reach happiness for each individual. So I think it's a right shape to target for each organization because it's both efficient and effective. I don't know if I'm on time or yes. Cool. Perfect. So thanks for listening. Hope it was clear enough. I intend to write a blog post on what I just said because it's a bit of improvisation. So thanks for listening and